going to come up. There we are. Well, it says we're now streaming live on YouTube.
Okay, and it's in my... Does it say public here? Oh, okay, yeah, we are now streaming here. I see the chat. So you see it on my channel?
I can't yet. Oh, yeah, live. We're live.
Okay,
Sure.
right on. So I guess I just...
Miss get excited about that.
Yep. It's something to get excited about. Okay,
Yeah.
so let me close this. Okay, so yeah, we're good. All right.
Hey. Right, so I can see everything. I can see the chat. Blah, blah, blah. Woohoo. Right, I'm going to share this. Should I share this to my profile as well?
Oh, you can if you want. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll start recording again.
Oh. My dog.
That's your dog?
Yeah.
So welcome everybody to this week's weekly Empowered Goddess Coffee Chat with the goddesses of the round table. And every week we like to talk about all sorts of stuff, and we usually choose a topic. So today we chose tarot and oracle cards, because I think most of us resonate with those, and everybody loves to have readings and stuff. So we're going to be talking about that. And my name is Wendy, for those of you who don't know me, and I'm your divine feminine holistic wellness coach. And the reason why I became a coach is because I've been through challenges, as a lot of people have, and I focus on helping women step into their divine feminine goddess power and unleash their inner goddesses. And also I focus on helping moms who are struggling with postpartum depression, because I've been through that. So that's the brunt of what I do. I do all sorts of other things as well. And I'm also a homeschooling mom. I have 4 goddesses in training, 4 daughters, and 2 of them are living with me. I'm from New Brunswick, Canada, and I live in near the Red Sea in Egypt. So that's pretty much sums it up. And I have with me here Fiona. She's an amazing goddess, and I'm very blessed to have connected with her, I think about 2 years ago. She's a professional witch, and she's also a business coach, and she also resonates a lot with tarot cards. So yeah, she does readings and things like that. So I'm gonna let you introduce yourself, Fiona.
Thank you, Wendy. Well, yes, I'm from Bristol in the UK originally, but I live in Brittany in France. So yeah, I also live in a different country, but it's not quite such a large gap between countries as yourself. But yeah, so I mean, I use tarot cards in my coaching. I hate to call it coaching. I hate to call myself a coach. I don't know why. It doesn't really resonate. What I do doesn't feel like coaching in that traditional sense, but I certainly do help people to find their purpose in life and live that through their business. And I do that in many ways: one-to-one coaching. I've got my sister circle, and I just started a podcast as well, which has been maybe 3 weeks in. I think the 4th episode drops this week on Wednesday.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, I'm loving that, and people are really giving me great feedback. But yeah, I've got quite a lot of tarot cards here and oracle cards, but I love the tarot for many reasons. And yeah, so we'll chit and chat about that at some point today, I'm sure. I've shared this onto my profile as well, so if anybody comes to join us, hopefully they will come and see what we're about.
And I will share it in our group, actually.
Yes.
the
Good.
goddess group so that they can come and
I've got my two husky dogs. You've heard Miska already, I'm sure. Which is actually a sign for me that this stream was working, because when it wasn't working before, we had a bit of a hitch, didn't we? And then it started working, and Miska came in and started yowling. I thought that's a sure sign from the universe that this is live, because every time I go live, it seems the dogs come and join in. So and it's like a little in joke with me and my clients, is that when Miska says I'm saying something, that's something they have to pay attention to. It's a really important thing that she's checking in on. She's on the bed.
Oh, that's so they have to come and greet everybody like they would at your door.
Absolutely,
Oh,
absolutely.
that's amazing. Yeah, I'm just sharing this in our group. Again, for those who want to join us. Yeah, and my cat actually does the same as your dogs.
Mhm.
Every time I go on live, she likes to come and greet everybody, but she likes to bite me. She
Well, my
climbs
dogs
on
don't
me and
bite.
bites me. Yeah, I think it's like a territorial thing. I'm not sure.
Well, sometimes with cats, because there is a cat here as well. It's my partner's cat. But if you go in and you see her and you're not paying her enough attention, she bites your arm to go, "Oi, hello, I'd like some fuss." But
Yeah.
mhm,
Well, she's quite a princess. Like she's like a diva.
yeah, that's
Yeah. So, all right. So yeah, I shared this in our group, and we will see, and we'll just keep going, and I'll be able to see the comments here
mhm.
in the
I can see them
in
too.
YouTube. Yeah, bear with me, everybody. This is I'm normally stream live these calls on in via my Facebook group, Unleash Your Inner Goddess. But recently, Facebook has stopped us from streaming from our group. So now I'm trying something new. So yeah, so just bear with me if if I don't seem like I know what I'm doing, because I don't know what I'm doing.
If I look like I don't know, it's because I don't know what I'm doing. I put a little comment in just to sort of test the thing. So that's me, that little comment there. Yeah, I don't know why Facebook did that. It was a big pain in the ass for a lot of people.
Yeah, it
There is a
was.
complicated way that somebody shared with me, but it was like, oh my God, looking at doing that. I'm not the most technical person. I'm
Yeah.
kind of technical, but yeah, it has a limit.
Well, I'm
But
technical, but yeah, like it depends on what it is. Like, uh, I hear that maybe Facebook might be wanting to create their own video streaming platform, maybe or something. Oh, I see your comment. So yeah, so if anybody joins in, we'll be able to see the comments.
excellent. We should both be able to see them and interact with them.
Yeah,
Great. So yeah, well, we were talking. Did you say you had a mermaid oracle?
I do.
Yep. So I've got a mermaid tarot. So it'd
These are
be
the ones that I have. I'm not sure if you see it the right way or not.
Mhm.
Do you see them like the right? I see them like inverted, but
Yeah, no, I see them the right way, so hopefully
oh, okay, good.
people will see them the
Yeah,
right
so
way.
these are my cards. Oh, and me, well, I'm a mermaid. And I went to the beach not too far from our compound with my friend, and it's a wild beach. So I found a whole bunch of treasures, but little did I know that I would find mermaid crowns. Look at that.
Wow, nice.
Yeah,
Love
I got two of them, and they weren't even on the beach. They were like going back to the car in
Mm.
like in the desert. So I assume maybe, and I have two of them. So I assume maybe these were part of a like a seashell, and then they just broke off or something.
Mm.
But I've been finding a lot of seashells that have spikes on them. So it's like this one. I'm not sure if you've ever seen this.
Yeah. Well, that looks like a smaller version of the the mermaid crowns.
I found a whole bunch of these at another wild beach. And it is a seashell, like you see the twirls in that, but like this is, I've never seen that before. So anyway, I wanted to show that. I felt like I won the lottery when I found these. Yeah.
So, sorry, and you say you're a mermaid. Is that are you a water sign? Is that?
I am, yeah. I'm a Pisces, so.
And I'm a Cancer, so we are the intuitive ones.
Yes.
I'm Pisces moon, so yeah.
Oh,
Hmm.
my moon is, I'll have to check again, but I don't think it's Cancer, but it's another one. I'm not sure.
Well, it's another one.
It's another one, I know.
uh-huh.
But
But
I
do
had done my
you wanna-
chart, but I don't remember.
oh, my dogs are trying to kill each other now, so it's definitely working. Do you want to pull a mermaid oracle and I'll pull a mermaid tarot and we'll
Yeah, we
do
can do that.
readings? I love to do live readings.
They are so big.
I've actually had 4 cards pop out. Nice.
So what are our goddesses? What do you have in store for our goddesses today?
So we've got the Page of Swords, which is funny because the Page of Swords is like the student energy, and we're learning this new way of going live because Facebook's being a
Yeah. Yep, that totally resonates.
5 of Swords is a confusion. So we were very confused earlier with that. But the 2 of Wands, we're looking to the future because this is how you're going to be doing things from now on, seeing as Facebook is being so difficult.
Those are
Um,
beautiful.
but then the Empress. So the Empress is giving birth to a new world, sort of starting something. But the Empress energy is the divine feminine, isn't it? So we're not letting these patriarchal systems stop us from getting the word out, which I love. That's really cool.
That's totally right. Yes, we are taking back, and it's funny you mentioned that because I watched a video on TikTok, and it was about the sun goddess or the sun. Anyways, is an Egyptian. What I'll do is I'll share it in the group maybe because I know a lot of us will a lot of us will resonate with it. But yeah, that's exactly what they were talking about, like taking back our power, uh, and like we are, we have the womb, so we give the life and all that. It's really, really interesting.
Mhm.
So I'll share it after our live in our group.
Awesome.
So yeah, so mine is it's called Lemuria Returns.
Beautiful.
And that has to do with the new Earth. Return to Lemuria. The return to it's like earthly spirituality, community, like sisterhood,
Mhm.
like ocean, saving the ocean, ocean conservation, making sure that because our oceans are dying.
Mm.
They're actually dying apparently with all the garbage and with all the pollution and all that. So
Yeah.
so it's
And the rising temperatures and yeah.
yes. So we need to take care of our ocean and our fish and everything that's in it. Because I mean, without water, there's no life.
Life.
There's no life.
Water is life, and it's interesting being water signs that
Yes.
we're nurturing life.
Yeah,
for that.
that's very so yeah, so I see this card as like, we're returning to ourselves, we're returning to our ancestors, we're returning to, a lot of people are ascending and are finding who they are, like some star seeds, and there's different types of star seeds. There's the Pleiadians, there's the Lemurians, there's the Arcturians, there's the Lyrans, and all that. So I
Mm.
think it applies to like all all of them, not just for Lemuria, but it's like, yeah, the return of this type of energy that's coming with the 5D.
The other thing that's really interesting about that card is that she's pregnant, and the
Yes,
Empress,
rebirth.
the
Yeah.
Empress is pregnant in tarot. She's always pregnant.
Wow.
Very similar energy of card.
It is. Wow. So yeah, it's like a rebirth, right? We're rebirthing ourselves. We're going through the birth canal actually with all the pain. We're
Mm-hmm.
seeing all, our traumas. And for a lot of people, it's not easy these
No.
times because this is what it is. Like we're being actually pushed, like it's a big kick in the butt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the universe is wanting us to, yeah, to heal so that we can finally be who we're supposed to be, who we were incarnated to be.
Well, what we're here for. I'm going to look for the Empress card in this Light Seers deck. This is my go-to deck, but you'll love the imagery on that. But I need to find her. Where are you, Empress? Um,
Mm.
yeah, it's this whole birthing a new world, new paradigm. Uh, I very much feel like that's a big part of my purpose here is like activating people into that. So um, yeah, I think that's one thing that we connected over as well in that sense of purpose. And
Yeah,
I'm
I think we're all finding each other and we're all connecting with each other. And we're here. Yeah, that's what we've been incarnated for. This is our purpose. This is to help guide humanity and sisters, to heal, to,
yeah,
step into their power and wear their goddess crowns, as we should. Because I mean, in this patriarchal system that we've been in, I mean, we've been oppressed a lot. So now is our time to shine. Just take that crown and, it's crooked here, just put it right back and go like this.
yeah. Queens. So here she is. This is the Empress from the Lightseers deck.
Oh my God. So she's pregnant also. Wow.
Well, the Empress, like I say, is pregnant. It's not quite so evident in the traditional Rider-Waite deck, but it is apparently the case.
So this one is kind of like it's called Lemuria Returns, but it could be like an empress. She could
Well, I
just
find a lot of the
yeah,
time, a lot of the time with Oracle decks, I mean the tarot is 78 cards. They're all the same name of cards. There's the minor and major arcana,
yeah, the
and
arcanas and yeah.
but with Oracle decks, a lot of the time, not with every deck, of course, because Oracle decks are so wide in interpretation, but a lot of the time the energies match with tarot cards. And the interesting thing with tarot cards is that a lot of the minor arcana are like a subsection of some of the major arcana cards.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, the oracle cards is more like a summary or like you kind of the tarot cards have more like meaning, like more definitions and more,
Mm.
yeah, for each and every one of them, like depending
Mm.
on if it's a major arcana or a minor arcana and all that stuff. So, but the
Yeah.
mermaid oracles is more like a general, kind of like a
Yeah,
general
and
meaning.
oracle cards tend to have, I mean, with the tarot as well, you get guidebooks, but you don't necessarily need it so much with tarot cards, I don't feel. A lot of the time with oracles, you need the definition because the cards don't really give much away in their meaning visually. But certainly
Yeah.
with, I mean, with tarot the different tarot decks. I mean, there are thousands and thousands of different tarot decks out there now. Um, but actually, sometimes with each of them, you look at them and you can get different things from the from the imagery on each different deck, if you know what I mean. So
And each and every deck is so unique in itself, right? So
mm,
it can almost be the same deck, but like with a different artist. So they put their own energy in it and they put their own designs in it, and then, like that's what makes it so special.
oh, the
So
Rider Waite deck, the traditional one, which is this one here. It's very dated imagery. So this is the moon card, for example. So much more basic imagery. There's a lot of symbolism in there.
yeah,
But yeah, so like a what did you like the devil, for example? That
yeah,
one. Do you know what I mean? It looks sort of old fashioned, but then there are lots of different. Just on these base imageries, there's different decks. So many different decks. I've got one that's an Art Deco version of this. It's downstairs. I won't go get it now, but and there's like psychedelic ones, and then there's like gold laminated ones. There's so many different just on these images, let alone all the ones that have different ones. Like see that Wheel of Fortune, it's a classic image. But there's a lot of symbolism in that. You see, you've got the animals in the corners that symbolize different things. You've got griffins, and there's
yeah.
the symbols on the wheel itself mean certain things as well. So yeah, it's
Amazing. Well, I remember when I
you
was a
like this one.
teenager.
You've got that Egyptian imagery at the top of the wheel there.
Oh yeah, the Sphinx is there and the Phoenix
Mm-hmm.
and the Griffin, I think too, eh?
Serpent, yeah.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
you got the compass or the
Mm-hmm.
in there. Yeah. But I remember when I was a teenager, I my first ever deck that I had, it was like kind of like the first ones that you showed there. Like it's a kind of like it's more like a simple kind of like it's an older type of design than like now they with AI and all that, they like graphic design, they put a lot of color and a lot of details in their cards. But yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
remember that deck that I had. I remember it was yellow and the box was like yellow and white, and so was the book that
Mm,
came with it. Yeah.
nice. Well, I've got my first tarot deck here, and what's interesting about this is that for quite a few years I didn't read tarot. I started reading when I was 19 years old. So we're talking about like I don't know, like 20 years ago nearly. Um, and then I'm married an atheist. That's a long story I won't go into. But he was very condescending about all of this kind of thing. So I didn't really look at my tarot for a long time. Got some crystals in here. Oh no,
Yeah.
I just found my
When
deck.
when when you have somebody that's not like, not on the
Yeah,
same vibe, yeah, it's kind
it's
of
a crazy notion to think that I stayed with him for 20 years, but there you go. Anyway, so when I moved out, I left him in 2022, nigh on 2 years ago now. And when I arrived in my new place, and from deciding to leave, it took me 1 month to find and move into another house uh, to get away. So that was the universe saying, this is the right thing. Let us give you a hand. And I found a place really quickly. And when I arrived in my new place, having just loaded boxes of stuff, oh, this is an old box of my things. And I opened a box, and here was this tarot deck, which it's been in this pouch for God knows how many years.
Oh, I
And
love the pouch.
of the pouch is incredible. I got that. I remember it was when I was in the Pagan Federation at a conference that we held there, and I bought it there. And then I got this incredible cosmic tarot. The back is this image, I'm just going to find a random card. So the Ten of Pentacles, that's a wonderful card to look at. It is about absolute abundance and happiness and like happy home
Oh,
life.
yes, you can tell like he's you know,
It's very
he's
regal. It's a very different
yes.
image to what you see on a lot of the other cards. The Ten of Pentacles on other cards, it's got a lot of children and family, and there's dogs in there, and abundance. But the abundance is just in this one person standing there in this one. But you see, so the imagery across cards, and this deck has to be 20 plus 30. I think that I looked at it and it was back from back in the 60s, but you can tell, you see, here's the Wheel of Fortune, which we looked at before. So it's a very similar, there's a wheel,
Oh,
there's
wow. There I
symbol.
see in this one I see a lot of geometric shapes.
Yeah, lot of
Yeah.
flower of life things, sacred geometry. You've got the
Yeah.
zodiac symbols around there.
Very nice.
But then say this is the Princess of Cups. No, it's Prince and Princess instead of hang on, what is it? Page and Knight in traditional. But you can see the imagery. It's very like Hollywood starlets almost.
Yeah, like in the old, like the older types. Yeah.
Yeah. And so the Two of Cups. I mean, look at this. If this is not Gone with the Wind in a tarot
Oh
card.
my God. Yes, that's what they were probably uh inspired by this because that's what I see also. Gone with
Yeah, I
the
mean
Wind.
that's like Rhett Butler and Scarlett O'Hara, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
but the Two of Cups is the soulmates card. It's about lovers and things like that. But it can also be about connecting with your own higher self. In the work I do, it's much more about that than about finding someone, a new boyfriend or something like that. It's yeah, and it's always the case when that comes out. So yeah.
Well, the cards, like I mean, they all have, yes, they all have like a set description or a set meaning, but whoever's reading the cards has their own unique way of interpreting it.
And you
You
make
know,
some
we all have our own little gifts of and our intuition or whatever. So like you can go see a tarot reader, they can use the same deck of cards, but you're gonna get a totally different type of
Mhm.
reading. It all
Yeah.
depends. It's
It's
really
always
fascinating.
depends. It all depends on the questions you ask of the card. So
Mhm.
asking about tell me the future, then yeah, by all means, the cards will start sort of laying out energy predictions. But if you ask different questions of the cards, like how can I overcome my fear of public speaking, for example, then you'll get cards that come out with a story that it's more about provoking conversation when I do my readings. It's more about like, okay, so this is the card about this. What's that? What does that mean to you? What's coming up with you for that? So
Mm.
yeah, it's all about context, like with many
Yeah.
things.
And that makes sense. I mean, because it's kind of like a team effort. I mean, even like the person that's having the cards read, they also have their own energy and they also have their own
Mm.
and their own perception about what should be and stuff like that. So when both are mixed together, the reading I'm sure is like unique to them or to
Mm.
their journey or to like to their path.
I mean,
Mhm.
what's interesting as well, talking about the energy of the person having the reading, if you've got somebody who's very, very skeptical about whether it's going to work or not, there's like a almost like a brick wall up, and the
Yeah.
energy doesn't come out to exchange, and it's really hard to do a reading for them. And what ends up happening is I do a bad reading just because that person's not allowing the energy
Yeah,
out.
you have to be open to receive, right?
Well, absolutely. But then that person then goes, oh, well, the conclusion is tarot doesn't work. Tarot is a load of
Mm.
nonsense because I had a reading and it didn't work. But it didn't work because they weren't open to it working.
Yeah, it's like Reiki.
Mm. Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
Reiki is like that. I mean, it's a transfer of energy, but I mean, you can send Reiki to anyone without them knowing or whatnot. But like if they're not open to it or they're not like they're closed off,
Not
they're
receiving.
probably not gonna receive it. But it still goes. It transfers anyway, but it makes it a little bit more complicated.
Isn't it a bit like when if you've ever been in a church environment, some people come through Christianity to end up in these places, and I've been through Christianity a couple of
Oh
times.
yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, and they always ask you, do you want to pray for anyone? And so yeah, oh yeah, we want to pray. And so people, is that not the same kind of thing as Reiki, effectively?
Yeah,
They all say
it's
Reiki is this evil thing, but it's not.
yeah.
It's obviously not. It's good intention and everything. But yeah,
No, I know. And we've had this like in some other calls we've had that discussion about like how like religion and I'm not bashing religion or anything like that. I'm just not religious. I'm spiritual. I
mm,
have a more like an open mind, but yeah, like religion uh has harmed women. Like, you know, like for the like the Salem witch trials, for example, or the Irish witch trials, or during the
the
1600s. I mean,
everywhere, Scotland, England,
yeah,
everywhere had these witch trials. The Spanish Inquisition was
yeah.
sort of the European.
And these were just women like me and you
Mhm.
who were healers. They were making
Yeah,
medicines. They weren't necessarily, you know, doing anything bad.
they
or
weren't at
or
all doing anything bad. No.
but people decided, oh yeah, that's evil. That
Yeah.
who are you to say that this is evil?
Well, this is a rabbit hole to go down, Wendy. But
Oh
my
yeah, it's a very big one.
my take on it is very much the same, and I think you would really like my podcast because it's called Professional Witches. It's about opening up that term witch into the fact that we're just healers, but yet we're called witches. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm a professional witch, and like, come at me with your hate if you like, because I don't GAF,
Yeah.
Um, and it's the thing. Now people say, well, show me the historical evidence. Well, I don't need that. I know because you've experienced it, and if you've ever done past life regression, I'm sure you have.
Yes,
Uh,
I have.
yeah, I have very clear past life memories of like protecting other witches, hiding other witches, and in one past life actually being hauled out of my um, home and being tried and executed as a witch. That was an interesting one that came to
Oh,
me
that
in
must
like
have
a
been pretty
second.
deep.
Pretty intense experience, but yeah, there we are. It was part of a therapy, and actually it unblocked a big thing when that happened. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I've had a
still
few
speak
past
more.
life regressions. Yeah, and I found out a lot of answers about why I'm a certain way, or why I'm scared about certain things, or why I'm uneasy about certain things. And in one of them, well, I throughout my childhood, I always had this vision of me standing on top of a cliff with the raging ocean below and a uh, like a sailboat in the distance, and
Mhm.
I was wearing a cloak, and I felt so free, and I felt like at home. I was at home.
Mhm.
uh Turns out it was a past life because I relived that past life when I had my past life regression session.
Mhm.
So it explained a lot why, and I'm sure it was in either Scotland or Ireland. And as soon as I see these types of cliffs, well, you probably know what I'm talking about because you know you've been there, or you were there, or um, I feel like I'm at home. And I'm scared of heights, but I'm not scared on top of a cliff. It's so funny. Like I could fall, and I think in one of my past lives, I was actually pushed off a cliff.
Mhm. Mhm.
Probably not in the same time, but um yeah, like all my past lives that I went through, I was a healer. I was either a medicine woman, a healer, call it whatever you want, but yeah, and in one of them I was actually a druid priestess. So it goes deeper, of course, but
Yeah.
yeah, it explains why I've always been resonating with this stuff.
Mm.
But I was scared too because of, the religious, my,
Mm.
my religious background, my religious dad and all that, like what he would say, like, When I was a teenager, I remember I wanted to, my uncle had given me a cassette of Motley Crue. I'm not
Oh,
sure if you know that band.
I
And he,
do. And the only reason I know that band specifically is that a couple of weeks ago I found the Netflix film. There's a film on Netflix about Motley Crue. So if you got
oh,
Netflix,
okay.
go and have a watch. It was
I'll
really,
have to check it out.
yeah.
But he was saying, "Oh no, you can't listen to that. That's the music of the devil. That belongs to the devil." Yeah, because they were saying anyway, there's a few songs that like kind of like make it look like that. But anyway,
Mm.
yeah. So I always like shoved it down. I never. I think most of us like
Mm.
always. But what I like to say now is we're the great 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 granddaughters of those that they couldn't burn. And
Hmm.
guess what? We're here this time, and we're not going away. We're
No,
not going anywhere. We're back.
it's illegal to join us at stake now.
Yes.
But it's really interesting, this whole the memories that we pull through from these past lives. And there's like universal knowledge that runs through this thread. This for example, there's one that it came as a dream, but it was so incredibly real that it could be nothing but a memory. I know you get vivid dreams, but this was too real. And um it was like the South American, I don't know if it was Mayan, it's probably Mayan, memory of being a priestess there. Um, and so I live in Brittany, in France. Brittany is a very different place than France. It's very unique in its heritage and culture and everything. And the Triscal is a very prominent symbol here. It's like three spirals like this, like in a triangle.
Oh, yes.
That also appears in Mexico. It's been found in Mexico, carved into walls. Mexico and Brittany have similar ancient symbols being used, and it's come out in other parts of the world too, completely independently. It can't have been the same people uh, going around with those symbols. It has to have come just as like a download from the universe, from
Yeah.
God, whatever you want to call it. So yeah,
It
it's
is interesting how things are connecting. Like even even like the indigenous or the Native Americans or Native Canadians or whatnot, like they've been finding stuff that like hieroglyphs, things with
hieroglyphs.
hieroglyphs.
Mhm.
Yeah. So like, and that's like, and there's another thing also. I'm not sure if you heard of it. It's Oak Island, the mystery of Oak Island or the treasure of Oak Island. It's a series. It's a TV series, and they go on this island off the shore of Nova Scotia, Canada.
Oh, really?
And that's where it is. And they found, and I guess the island is cursed. So
Mm.
like they try to go there and try to find treasures and stuff like that, but like some people, like some get hurt and stuff like that. So they say that it's cursed. Oh, that's what it's called, actually, the Curse of Oak Island. I just remembered. Yeah, it just came at me. And they found some Egyptian artifacts and some Egyptian hieroglyphs there. So okay, so what's that doing in an island off the coast of Nova Scotia? So yeah, it's fascinating. Like,
Mm.
you know, we don't know. Like I know they say that at one point all the continents were together. And then, as
Yeah,
time,
but a very long time ago, before humans existed, yes, they were. But the plates, see, I may be a witch, but I also have a scientific background. So it's like, it's really interesting to compare, because a lot of the things that they couldn't explain many years ago, they're now explaining with science. But plate tectonics, at one
yeah,
point, all of the land mass of the earth was in one big lump. And over the uh, billions of years, it's kind of spread out. And so
yeah,
it's still only halfway around. You've got the Pacific on effectively one kind of side of the globe, takes up majority of one side of the globe with like Hawaii in the middle of it, basically.
Mm.
Um, but the other side is what's been pulled apart, and it's kind of moving around like this very, very, very slowly. But when it was one landmass, that was well before humans existed. So yeah, there were maybe common ancestors from the animal kingdom, like, apes or whatever we came from,
Mm.
and even before that. But that they weren't carving things into rocks at that stage. So where's that come from?
I know, eh? It's and even some of the like for example, Atlantis. I mean, they found where Atlantis used to be. It's underwater, of course, but they found a lot of drawings and a lot of evidence there that there was like a civilization
Yeah.
that came from that. It's pretty interesting. Like
Mm.
yeah, like the pyramids, for example, and the Mayan pyramids, and all the pyramids around the world,
That's
they
right.
are all energy centers.
Yeah. Mm.
It's really
Yeah.
fascinating, and it's all that's also another kind of like rabbit hole that we can go down. It never ends, eh? Like there's always like, it brings you to another place and another time and another period. It's so fascinating,
Mm.
like how we
Yeah.
came to be. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's really cool.
It very much is. I've got to show you and well, anybody watching as well, the tiny tarot that I showed you earlier. Do you
Oh,
remember?
they're so cool.
So I've got this tiny tarot. I keep a little crystal. They're in this bag, and I've got a little amethyst macabre in there. And so these tiny tarot, they're the tiniest tarot decks. They're so tiny you can't shuffle them. So I keep them in a little bag and I pull them out like little lotto tickets. Um, so we have got, what is that? So I actually have a magnifying glass because I can't actually see. So what I often have to do is actually take a photo of it or get the thing. Is that the devil?
I've never seen a tarot deck so small.
I have to literally take a photo and zoom in. Yes, it's the devil. Okay.
The devil made me do it.
Well, this is a card of addictions and of taking pain away, because that's what addiction effectively does, isn't it? Um, yeah, so there's a crazy story I have about the devil, but for the devil card, in fact, no, I can't go into it. It's too much of a personal story, but um, let's just say the tarot is very powerful and mystical, and the
It
right
is.
person saw that card at the right time in their life to make a massive change. And yeah, the circumstances on how that ended up being in front of them was a little bit more than spooky, but spooky in a good way, like thank you universe kind of spooky. So
But some will say that see the devil as like a bad omen, like especially this card, but it actually can mean the opposite. So it
yeah,
all depends on how it's interpreted.
of course it's always about the context, but it is a call for you to realize that you're not bound by anything, that you do you know what I mean, like you have a choice in all cases at all times. When you feel stuck and bound to something, that you are only bound by your own choices effectively. So but people don't like to hear that because they think they're powerless, and they actually, a lot of people prefer to be powerless than to realize that they've made the decisions that brought them to where they are in their life. There are experiences that obviously we can't help that has happened to us, and I take nothing away from people who've been the victim of horrible things, and I've been the victim of horrible things myself many times, but I don't choose to see myself as the victim. I choose to use that trauma to propel growth rather than to hide and play small. I did once play small. Now I choose to reframe it and use it as a superpower, use it as a strength.
Yes, exactly. And we can use our faults or our, you know, our mistakes or as a superpower. They
Absolutely.
are. It's just that most people, they tend to see the glass as half empty, but it's
Mhm.
actually half full. I mean, okay,
Yeah.
yes, these things happen, these bad things happen and all that, but if you stay stuck in that frame of mind and that you're always the victim and poor me and why is life happening to me like this, instead, if you look at it from another perspective, like you can say, why is life, what is life trying to teach me?
Mm.
What does it want me to learn? What can I learn and how can I improve? But
Yeah.
most, like, says, and this is the society that we are in, like, it's, it's conditioning. That's what they want.
Society prefers us to be powerless. Interestingly, my glass is currently half full. As you said that, I looked at my glass and I thought that's funny. Um, but society wants us to be helpless so that
Yes.
we don't step into our power. We do as we're told, so that we go and do a shit job that doesn't fulfill us. We become
It's
a
all about
prey.
a control, right? They're trying, it's control. It's all
Absolutely,
about controlling
it is.
us.
Yeah.
And they don't want to
Fear.
have,
They
excuse
want
me.
us to be constantly in a state of fear, and without going into the politics, which we did say beforehand, we wouldn't do. But as a general energy, the powers that be want us to be afraid and small and victims. That's why they constantly beam news at us that tells us how insignificant we are and powerless. No, be careful, don't speak to people. Goodness me, don't speak to people because they might be terrible people who are going to kill you or
Mhm.
things. And they also might be wonderful people and you make a great connection and a new friend. Well, you know.
Exactly. Yeah, no, well, we know that it's all about what it's all about. Why that's why they don't want people to awaken to who they are. They don't want us as a society or as a global, because they want us stuck in this system or in this, this matrix.
Yep.
Work, 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 get up, work, drop kids off, go to work, come back home, then like with no time
Yep.
to even think about ourselves or about taking care of
Exactly.
ourselves.
Do this endless cycle of misery until you're too old to actually enjoy the time that you then get in retirement, which keeps getting pushed later and later and later anyway.
Yeah,
So you end up doing your entire life in a job you hate, thinking, well, but when I get to retire, then enjoy it then. But by then you're so worn out. I mean, why not find your purpose in life and then do your thing and enjoy your life? And then for me, I don't see that I'm ever actually going to retire. I mean, why would I retire from doing something that I love to do?
exactly.
I love helping people with my work, so I don't feel like I would ever actually want to stop doing it. And finances are not a factor in that decision at all. It's just a matter of I love what I do. Why would I stop doing it? I'm not going to retire.
Yeah, exactly. Like it doesn't, just because you're 60 or 65 doesn't mean that you have to retire. You don't have to retire. It's
Yeah.
totally up to you. But the government or like the jobs, like the businesses where you're working, they're forcing you to retire at a certain age. And then
Mm.
they tax you on it. On them anyway, so that's a whole other uh
It's a big to
oh
be honest, I'm not being funny and that this is going to annoy a lot of people, but for me pensions are a massive con. And
it
I've
is.
never had a pension and I never intend to have a pension. Um so that's yeah. At the time I was actually going to qualify to get a pension from an employer because I did once have an employer. Um there was a big massive pension scandal came out in the news and I decided I was not going to put my money into something that I was potentially never going to see the money again. It's like I'll take the money now I might not live until retirement age, so I'll take the cash, thank you very much, rather than put it away for billionaires to swindle and run off with. So
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Like they're take like it's our money that we paid in that we worked very hard for, but like that money's not really there.
no.
They reinvest it and do this and
Yeah.
that with
Oh,
it.
and
So
I'm sorry, there was a big crash, and so oh,
yeah,
we the money isn't there anymore. But
yeah,
it's probably in their own pockets. It doesn't just disappear, does it? The money isn't there. I mean, it goes somewhere,
yeah.
effectively.
They reinvest it somewhere else or whatnot there. But yeah, like me, well, when I worked for the firearms program in Canada, like I worked there 8 years, so I'm entitled to a pension whenever the time comes.
Mhm.
Um, but I mean, they're going to take half in taxes. I'm not even going to enjoy it.
What's the point?
Yeah, so like this, well, I'm working that's the beauty of finding your purpose and and yes, it can be scary. Uh, that's why a lot of people stay stuck in jobs they hate
Mm.
because they are like they're thinking, okay, well, I have bills to pay, I have a house to pay, I have all this to pay, da, 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 so that's why they stay. But
Hmm.
they're miserable. But sometimes you just have to take a leap of faith and
Hmm.
put trust in the process that it's going to work out in the end. Like me, that's what happened when I left my job, this cushy government job that I was working. I was miserable for 8 years. I was miserable. Yes, it paid my bills. Yes, it did this, but I was just miserable.
Not
Like
much
I
else,
did,
I'm
and
sure.
I'm not a brown noser, so I wasn't going to, brown nose my way to the top. And I
Mm.
was just going to stay as a mailroom clerk or whatever to the bottom of the pile. And I would never go higher than that because that's just not who I am. And then these types of jobs, yes, you have to pretty much it's who you know.
Hmm.
So yeah, when I left, I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't have a plan B. All I knew is that I was on a sick leave and I was on employment insurance. We have that in Canada. So
Hmm.
anyways, I was okay for a little bit. And then my sister just said that she was looking for a Reiki table, a massage table to do Reiki. So she got a light bulb moment. Oh, massage therapy. So that's when the door opened for that. And the door just keeps opening. It seemed like when I left Canada, I didn't know what was going to happen when we're going to be here. I
Hmm.
didn't know. And now I'm here and all is fine. So we just have to not be scared
Hmm.
to take that leap of faith sometimes.
Absolutely. Got to follow
Mhm.
your heart, and it's quite a lot of the time the scary thing is the right thing. It's
Yeah, is it the right thing or is it not? Is it just like a kind of like our, we're kind of like in a battle.
I mean,
Like,
there's
should
a bit of a
I,
thing,
shouldn't
is
I?
it the right thing? I mean, it's always the right thing. If it's where you've been led by circumstance, then it's there's lessons for you to learn in that experience. But sometimes it's when you get to the point where you start to honor yourself and you're in a place where you're ready to actually take that leap of faith. That's when the magic really happens. But you've done everything up to then. You've not That's not ever time wasted. That's
No,
times that you've learned valuable things on your journey towards what you should be doing in your life, what your ultimate purpose here is. And if you get to do that, then you're very lucky because so many people don't take that leap of faith.
they don't. I did, and I'm so glad that I did. And
Mm.
like now I'm working for myself. And this is to me, this is freedom. Like nobody's telling me, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't act a certain way, you can't. So I'm just, and I'm home. I've always wanted to be home, and I'm home. And like I removed myself completely from the matrix, from the system.
Mm.
Like I even homeschool my daughters. They
Mm.
don't go to school. I homeschool them. Like, and I'm not always schooling them, because I'm busy doing other things. But I mean, when I do teach them something, it's something that's valuable that they're going to be able to take with them and it's going to help them in their own life. So I've been mostly unschooling them, you know, so
That's
that,
life. circumstances, the world teaches children a lot of stuff anyway. Um, do they need to know the dates of the Battle of Waterloo and the
No.
dates? Do you know what I mean? I don't even remember what those things are.
Well, even like math, for example, like the math.
I
I
mean,
mean,
math is to a point useful, but I
yeah, you have
got
to know how to
a
add, you have
B
to
in
know how to
my
subtract, but
GCSEs, and but the 90% of what I learned at school about math, I don't use in day.
no, we don't use it. Like algebra and
And most people have a calculator these days anyway.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah. I think as long as they know how to count, or unless they want to be a doctor or they want to be a chemist or a scientist, yes, then they need all the
mm,
physics and all the chemistry and all that stuff. But like at the end, it's like wasted knowledge
mm,
that they're not using. So why not just like replace it with actual stuff that they're gonna learn?
yeah.
Yeah, that's how I see it anyway.
Oh, you're
So,
right.
but it's pretty amazing, when you can step into your power, follow your passions, follow your heart, trust the process, live each day as they come, and not fret about the past, worry about the future, like being grateful for what you do have. Those are the keys. And
Mm,
it's so easy to do. Like but a lot of people have like they're stuck. They're stuck in those thoughts and those patterns and all that stuff. But once
mm,
you step away from it, like and you look in and like you're like, wow. Like I'm amazed every day. Like,
yeah.
yeah, I hear the birds, like anything. I'm just amazed. So, but I used to be negative. I used to be so negative. Like, before I awoke and before I figured it out. But
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, I'm a totally different person today than I was back then.
Me too. It's funny what
Mhm.
it does, that liberation, isn't it?
Does. It's so free. Like we have the freedom. We do. It's inside us. We just have to stop following and stop, just doing your own thing. Be you, and all will be good. As long as you're following your heart, that's the best way to go. And
Totally.
your intuition. So yeah, this is a real. So see, we started with the terrace, and now we're talking about other stuff. We
There you
always
go. All directions. And I'm sure we've been going for, goodness me, over an hour. An
oh
hour.
wow. So yeah, so time flies by when you're having fun, right?
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm ready to collapse in front of some Netflix. But
Yes.
I thought it might be a nice thing. I've got a little box of positivity, which is actually like a little affirmations card thing. But I've been using these in my readings for clients lately, and they've come up with some really nice things. So I thought, let's pull one for anybody watching as a little thing to finish on. How about that?
Oh, that was a great idea.
To people. Oops, that one. Well, I love the way it's always appropriate as well. Okay. Um,
They always fall into place, don't they?
they do. As a little final message, we've got two cards actually that popped out. We've got grow through what you go through.
Wow. And that's just like exactly what we were talking about.
Exactly what we were talking about. And then we've got change your thoughts and you change your world.
Wow.
Also,
See, like
exactly what we were just talking about.
exactly. That gives me goosebumps. Every time I see something like a synchronicity like that, like I mean,
Yeah.
that's powerful.
And
It's
this
really
is why
powerful.
I love the cards, any cards, my tarot, my oracles, all of them. They always come out with exactly the right thing. And believe me, there are lots of positivity, yeah, but I mean, there's lots of cards like uh, I may have been cut down today, but I will flower again tomorrow. That was just at random. That's not really a good,
Oh, wow. See,
nice
like your
message.
challenges don't define you. You're,
Absolutely. Well,
it's
actually, that does apply to what we were talking about as well. But yeah,
Yeah, but when I do I would do my weekly card pulls every I didn't do them last week because I was busy, but I try to do them every week as much as I
Yeah.
can. And it's funny how and what I do is I get my the goddesses in my group to pick one, two, three, like to
Mhm.
choose one card, and then I pull them, and then and they usually resonate. And sometimes they'll pick three, sometimes they'll pick one, sometimes they'll pick two or whatever. But like the card that they choose always ends up resonating in that moment in time for them. That's what's
Yeah.
the beauty of cards. I
Mhm.
love cards. They're awesome.
Do.
Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
so I guess we'll call it a night. And it was great connecting with all of you and all of you watching. Thank you for joining us, Fiona, and looking forward to having you join us again.
It
We're
will be
going to be doing
lovely when there are
this.
more goddesses here as well to yeah,
Yes.
but,
Yeah.
getting a bit.
So yeah, so well it all depends. Sometimes we have a lot of goddesses and some I've had one call one time that I was by myself. So I still talked and stuff like that, but I was talking to myself. So yeah, it all depends, eh? And like it's
Yeah.
whoever's available on that day, and same goes for like the ones that are watching. It all depends on sometimes we're a big huge gang and sometimes we're less of a
Yeah.
big group, but it's always great. I always enjoy these talks. They're amazing. So yeah, so thank you so much for coming, Fiona. Thank you everybody for watching. We'll see you next week, same time, same place. And from my heart to yours, have an amazing week. And the goddess in me honors the goddess in you. Goodbye.